Hey guys, today we're going to talk about Royal Arms on Final Fantasy XV. There are 13 Royal Arms in total and not all of them are acquired through story progression, as 7 are obtained through the main story and 6 are optional and the game can't be finished without getting them. So let's see the Royal Arms and where you can get them. The first Royal Arm you can get is the Sword of the Wise. This one's acquired through the main story and only after getting this one do you get the Tomb Key, which is needed to unlock other Royal Arms. Right after you get Sword of the Wise, your next mission is to venture into a dungeon and acquire the next Royal Arm, Axe of the Conqueror. This makes the total 2 and both of them are obtained through the story. While still in chapter 2, you have the choice to enter a dungeon with low level imps which shouldn't pose a problem for you. Unfortunately, I can't say the same about the boss. If you head deep enough into a battle of mines, you'll eventually run into a level 50 plus something boss. Unless you're doing a new playthrough and you're already familiar with parries, spells and attacks, there is no way for you to beat this boss in chapter 2. Some crazy people do grind up to level 20 or 30 then manage to defeat this guy, but I recommend you try this at level 40 or higher. Once you beat the boss, you'll gain access to a new tomb which holds the Bow of the Clever. If you already have the key, you'll get the new bow. Blade of the Mystic Royal Arm will be obtained through the story somewhere around chapter 4 if I remember correct. Access to this location is sealed off and you only enter here as part of the main story progression. The next two are completely optional and can be missed if you don't seek them out. Shield of the Just can be obtained by simply going to the Tomb of the Just from chapter 3 onwards. There are no quests or boss fights here, you just walk in, get it, walk out. This is also the key to the best AP farming method in Final Fantasy XV, so watch my AP farming video if you're not familiar with this farming method. Star of the Rogue is sealed off within Marwood Dungeon. If you watched my Sanya questline video, you should be familiar with this location already, as the quest takes us to this dungeon while searching for fireflies. You get access to this region in chapter 7, so I doubt you'll be able to get this Royal Arm before then. Swords of the Wanderer are within a dungeon which you need to go through as part of the story following the events in Lastallum, so you can't miss this one out. The next 3 are all optional though, so you'll need to track them down. Mace of the Fierce is hidden inside a tomb which is deep within Rock of Ravator. The mob inside this dungeon are not that scary, and if you're level 30 this should be a breeze for you. The same thing can be said about the Scepter of the Bios, which can be found inside Malmalam Thicket dungeon. However, there is a boss fight before you can get to the Scepter. You can go to Hammerhead and do practice run on the Bandersnatch. If you can beat it, then you're good to go, as the same boss is protecting the Scepter. The last optional Royal Arm is the hardest. Great Sword of the Tall was stolen from Tomb of the Tall, and you have to travel to Costalmark Tower dungeon to get it back. This dungeon can only be accessed during night time. We'll talk more about this in a bit. The remaining 3 Royal Arms are Katana of the Warrior, Trident of the Oracle, and Sword of the Father. All 3 are locked behind the story events and are obtained after chapter 9, so you have to get them if you progress the story. When attempting Costalmark Tower dungeon, I recommend you wait until evening time in a nearby outpost, eat a meal with great bonuses, then try this dungeon. This is a very tough dungeon and I wouldn't recommend you attempt it before level 50. The boss was easy and you can see the fight in this video. I was actually waiting for him to attack or do something crazy, but he wasn't nearly as dangerous as random mobs in the dungeon. The dungeon itself is a maze, full of random fights with strong enemies, but the treasures and accessories are great, so spend time exploring and looting everything. If you need XP or AP because you're stuck in any of these dungeons or fights, there are videos to help you out with farming on my channel, so check them out. Drop a like if you enjoyed or learned something new, and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching, goodbye!